One of my biggest pet peeves is when somebody calls somebody lucky. Saying somebody got lucky, saying somebody is blessed takes all of the ownership away from the person, right? It makes it seem like it was just poof, just like dropped in your lap and you had no control over it. You didn't have to make hard decisions. You didn't have to work hard. You didn't have to bust your ass. You didn't have to avoid some of the things that your buddies are doing that are not where you are or not lucky or blessed. One of my favorite sayings is, the harder I work, the luckier I get. Because the truth is, luck, it's something of fairy tales, right? People are not lucky, all right? It's about timing, it's about preparation and all that nonsense. But the fact is, if you expect to ever achieve anything, you've got to get off your ass and you've got to be the one that does the work. You've got to be the one that gets lucky. Which brings me to the second harsh life lesson that you better learn. And the sooner you do, the better off you're going to be. And that is, money will not make you happy. I've been broke and I've been not broke, right? I can tell you this from experience. Not broke is a lot better, but it will not make you happy. I think one of the big mistakes and misconceptions that we see online with social media, right, is that we see a lot of people like obsessing about stuff. And so we think, oh, if you have stuff, that means you're happy. If you have stuff, that means you're successful. And I really guess it boils down to what your version of success is, which brings me to the next harsh lesson that you need to learn. Success, it's not about the shit. It's not about the money. It's about relationships. That is what matters. As I get older and as I lose people that are close to me, as I basically have experienced life, I realize that it's not about having a bunch of shit. It's not about buying stuff. It's cool to get a nice watch. It's cool to drive a nice car and all that stuff. But really, the focus for me and for you, hopefully you'll realize this sooner rather than later, is you've got to nurture and cultivate the relationships. When you are surrounded by people that love you, when you have people in your life that uplift you and treat you well, that you love being around, this is what makes a person rich. It's not about expensive shit. And a lot of you won't realize that yet or learn this lesson until later on, but you will learn it. Unfortunately, the learning is painful because a lot of times it's going to come at the expense of possibly losing relationships or loved ones, or thinking that money is going to make you happy or a better person when it doesn't. It makes solving problems easier. But what truly matters is you connecting with people you love and being happy with who you are as a person. The next harsh life lesson that most men learn way too late is that you can't outrun your past. Eventually, it catches up with you. All right? And this was something that I was dealing with from a young age, right? I've struggled with feeling good about myself and self-esteem. I've talked about that openly. I have always felt like I was an insecure kid, deep down at my core. And unfortunately, it impacted me in a lot of different ways, right? It made me not be able to stand up for myself when it came to relationships or bosses. And it made me just not feel good about who I was, right? It wasn't until I finally decided I deserved to be happy and went to therapy that everything in my life started to scale and get better. I heard a saying once that I love. I just want to share this with you. You can't speed up the healing process, but you can slow it down. Think about that for a second. You can't speed it up, but you can slow it down. By you avoiding it, this will slow it down. By you self-medicating, like what I did, right? I was drinking in excess. I was sleeping around. Like, I was doing things to try to numb the pain that was deep down inside of me from things that happened to me, growing up. It wasn't until I finally decided, you know what? I deserve to be happy. And until I deal with my shit and my issues and set down the baggage, I am never truly going to be happy. Right? And when I did that, gentlemen, every single aspect of my life started to scale, started to get better. I had better friendships, better relationships. I felt better about myself. My self-esteem went up. I finally was able to stand up for myself. Gentlemen, if you're ready to stop running and do something amazing that's going to impact the rest of your life for the better, I want you to hit that link down below and check out today's video sponsor, BetterHelp. I've talked about them a gazillion times. I've used their service. I love their service. BetterHelp will connect you with a licensed therapist that is trained to listen and give you helpful, unbiased advice. Guys, the way that it works is simple and amazing. All right, there's a link down below this video, betterhelp.com/alpha-m. Go through my link. You're going to answer a few questions, and then BetterHelp is going to match you with a professional that has years of experience helping people just like you with situations that you are dealing with. The best part, you can do it all from your phone or your computer. You can do it through a phone call or a video call. You can even do it through chat. Whatever way is most convenient and comfortable for you, that's how you can have your therapy. And you'll be matched with a therapist usually within like 48 hours, which means now is the time. All right, guys, here's the deal. If you're ready to allow BetterHelp to connect you with a professional that can help you deal with your issues and get on the right track and the road to feeling amazing about yourself and living your best life, I want you to hit that link down below. Go to betterhelp.com/alphaM. If you go through my special link, guys, you're going to get 10% off your first month of therapy. Do not wait. Now is the time. And if I didn't tell you already, I'm proud of you. Which brings me to the next harsh lesson that a lot of guys learn too late, and that is your health is your number one most valuable asset, period. I talk about this all the time because I'm so fucking passionate about the fact that if you are not taking care of your body, if you're neglecting it, if you're smoking, if you're doing drugs, if you're drinking in excess, if you're not exercising, if you're not eating a healthy diet, if you're not drinking 120 ounces of water a day, if you're not living a clean lifestyle, you are gonna pay for it. Maybe not now, maybe right now you got six-pack abs, maybe right now you look good, but eventually it will catch up with you. And when it does, it's gonna punch you in the dick. Unfortunately, a lot of the mistakes or inability to think long term when we're younger impacts us as we get older, right? And as you get older, you start to realize, oh shit, I'm not as healthy as I used to be. Or, oh my God, I went to the doctor and I've got this. If you started to do the things that you need to do that you know you should be doing, it might not be easy, it might not be what your friends are doing, but you know you should be doing it or shouldn't be doing the things that you're doing, right? Eventually it's gonna catch up with you. And unfortunately, a lot of times when it catches up with you, it could potentially be too late, literally, right? The important thing is that you go in annually for blood work. You need to go in for screening. You need to go to the dentist. You need to go, hopefully, for colonoscopies, which is something that I am super fucking passionate about that as well. Because I found out that the first time I went in for a colonoscopy, just because I was paranoid, I had 5 precancerous polyps. I just went back. 2 years later, I had another 2 polyps. Gentlemen, it's the real deal. Take care of yourself. Do not think you're going to live forever, because that actually is the next lesson that you're going to learn, hopefully not for a long time, but eventually you will, and that is time. It's finite. We all only have so much time on this earth, right? How you use it, how you choose to live each and every day, this is what matters. And unfortunately, even though you think you're going to live forever and you're going to be invincible when you're younger, you're not. And as you age, you're going to see people are going to start to get old. People are going to start to die. You're going to look in the mirror one day and have a lot of gray hairs like I do. You're going to blink and you're going to be 48 years old like I am. Gentlemen, life, it's short. I know people talk about it, but it's true. Brings me to the next lesson, and that is you need to make you happy. Do not live your life for somebody else. You've got to decide what is going to truly make you happy. If you get up today and you hate what you do, or tomorrow you're doing the same thing, if you look back at your life and you don't love the life or the legacy that you have led or that you are going to leave, what are you doing with your life? It is not too late to change. It is not too late to take action, right? You are not guaranteed tomorrow. Nobody is. Today, what you do with today is what matters. And if you're somebody that is doing what you want, if you're doing what you love, or you can look at yourself in the mirror and be like, you know what? I did the best I could with what I have, then congratulations. But most of you can't say that. And if it means you getting outside of your comfort zone, pushing yourself, your boundaries, and actually trying something and failing, congratulations. Failure is not bad. It's a part of the equation, which is another lesson that way too many of you are hopefully going to learn at some point, but some of you will never learn it because you will never take the jump. You will never do something scary. You will never truly test yourself and your limits. You're going to stay safe. You're going to stay stuck, and you're going to live an average, boring, basic life that isn't inspiring and that you don't love. Another harsh lesson that I learned is authenticity is better than popularity. All right, and this is something you've just got to just sit with and think about for yourself, right? When I realized that when I dropped the act and the shit and me like trying to be something or show the world that I was something that I wasn't, and I just got real and I just basically allowed people to see who I was, that's when everything got better for me, and that was the point at which I felt better about myself. You know, and it's scary though. Being authentic and true to who you are and letting people know how you really feel or what you're really about, it's scary. You worry that they might not like you, they might not accept you, right? The fact is, if somebody doesn't accept you for who you are, you don't need to be around them. Good people are better than pretty people. Think about that. In a world of social media and everything is for appearance, there are a lot of very ugly, beautiful people out there. All right, what I mean by that is physically, right? They're physically very attractive. This goes for men and women, right? But inside, they're hollow. Inside, they're ugly. You've got to find somebody that you're physically connected to, attracted to, but at the core of who they are a good person. They have integrity. They have honor. They will treat you with respect. They will uplift you. They will care for you. They will love you even when things aren't going right or things aren't going well. Because I promise you, things will not always be great. They also won't always be bad, which is another lesson you need to learn. And that is, this too shall pass. Gentlemen, the fact is, even if you're going through a bad time right now, it will pass as long as you keep moving forward. Keep figuring it out, right? And the last thing I would just like to leave you with is something that was empowering for me, and that is, the world does not revolve around you or me. And what this basically means is, a lot of times we do or don't do things based on the fact that we think everybody is thinking about us or everybody is going to judge us, when the reality is they're too busy worrying about their own shit, being insecure and messing their own shit up. They're not thinking about you. And so jump, take the chance, take the risk, because even if you fail, even if you're embarrassed, nobody is paying attention. You need to do what's right for you, and you need to live your best life, because I promise you, you're not going to be here forever.